Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn history. Today the Treaty of Amiens, and after we've done that, we're going to do wrist training. And if you participate in wrist training, then it's at your own risk. And this is about war here. On the 14th March, London, under pressure to finalize the budget, gave Cornwallis a hard deadline. So London was giving Cornwallis a hard deadline. He was to return to London if he could not reach an agreement within 8 days. Following a 5-hour negotiation session that ended at 3 a.m. on the 25th March, Cornwallis and Joseph, the British and the French negotiator, signed the final agreement. Cornwallis was unhappy with the agreement, but he also was worried about the ruinous consequences of renewing a bloody and hopeless war. Okay, the British key negotiator was pressured to come to an agreement by the people who expected peace and also by the government who wanted to save a budget for what in the next year spending would be done. And now the French negotiator Joseph, the brother of Napoleon Bonaparte, they could use that. But they knew the other negotiating person on the other side of the table had to come to an agreement, so they could basically say whatever terms. But it wasn't written in these words here. Terms. The treaty, beyond confirming peace, friendship and good understanding, called for the following: the restoration of prisoners and hostages. So there was war happening and people were taken prisoner and they would be exchanged back. Britain to return the Cape Colony to the Batavian Republic. Okay, somewhere is the Cape Colony and that should come to the Batavian Republic. Britain to return most of its captured Dutch Guyana to the Batavian Republic. I think that is in South America, in the northern part of Eastern South America. Maybe it's in Western Africa. Whatever, somewhere is Dutch Guyana and that had to come back to the Batavian Republic. Britain had got it captured. Britain should withdraw its forces from Egypt and also, now Spain agreeing to British rule of Trinidad. Okay, and Spain was also negotiating there, and Spain had to agree that Britain was ruling Trinidad. It must be the island in the Caribbean. The Batavian Republic to cede Ceylon, previously under control of the United Provinces, and the Dutch East India Company to Britain. Okay, no, first the Cape Colony was coming from Britain to the Batavian Republic, but Ceylon was coming from the Batavian Republic to Britain. Ceylon is Sri Lanka, southern island of India. No, this was wrong. An island lying south of India. France should withdraw its forces from the Papal States and the Kingdom of Naples. So somewhere's the Papal States and the Kingdom of Naples. I still haven't figured it out. It's in Italy. France had to withdraw also from 2 cities. French Guyana to have its borders defined. Okay, somewhere is French Guyana. I think it's not a thing in South America. Somewhere is French Guyana and its borders were set somewhere. Malta, Gozo and Comino to be restored to the Knights Hospitaller and to be declared neutral. Okay, I once heard there's something about that. A story like that. But maybe it has nothing to do with anything. Malta is an island in the Mediterranean Sea, and I think from the names, Gozo and Comino are also 2 islands in the Mediterranean Sea, and they had to come back to the Knights Hospitaller. I think these are I have no idea to explain it. These are people who belong with former crusaders, I don't know. And 3 islands were coming back to the Knights Hospitaller and become neutral. Gibraltar remains under British rule, so Gibraltar is between Spain and Algeria? Was it Morocco? Morocco, I think. So Gibraltar, an island south of Spain, remains under British rule. Minorca was returned to Spain, so someone was having Minorca ruling under them, and now Minorca, an island east of Spain, was coming to Spain. So today Spain. And the House of Orange-Nassau to be compensated for its losses in the Netherlands. The House of Orange-Nassau, these are This is a royal family, I think. And they had to get compensations for losses they had somewhere in the Netherlands. The Septinsular Republic was recognized by the signatory partners. Now, somewhere is the Septinsular Republic, and it was recognized through the Treaty of Amiens, through the signing partners, Spain, Netherlands, Britain, and France. 2 days after signing the treaty, all 4 parties signed an addendum. I never heard of it, but I really like it. I think I know what it means. Specifically, acknowledging that the failure to use the language of all of the signatory powers, the treaty was published in English and French, was not prejudicial and should not be viewed as setting a precedent. Let's read it again. 2 days after signing the treaty, all 4 parties signed an addendum. So I think something, hey, we have to say something else. We forgot something, a postscriptum. And specifically did they say there, acknowledging that the failure to use the languages of all the signatory powers, so Spanish and Dutch, the treaty was published in English and French, was not prejudicial and should not be viewed as setting a precedent. So basically all 4 parties came together, and also Spain and the Batavian Republic of Netherlands said, it's okay that the whole thing is written in French and English and not in Spanish or the other thing, we understand the other part. It also stated, this addendum, that the omission of any individual's titles was unintentionally not intended to be prejudicial. I don't know the word omission, but I get a sense of it. I think they named some people in the treaty wrong, but they're saying that it was just an accident, and we all find that it was just an accident, because they all wanted peace, friendship, and good understanding. Let's read on what happened. The Dutch and French representatives signed a separate convention. So the Dutch and French, clarifying that the Batavian Republic, I still don't know where the Batavian Republic is, was not to be financially responsible for the compensation paid to the House of Orange-Nassau. Whatever. Dutch and French people came together and said the Batavian Republic doesn't have to pay to the House of Orange-Nassau, for whatever reason. Preliminaries were signed in London on the 1st October 1801. King George III proclaimed the cessation of hostilities on the 12th October. Okay, and London, the King of the United Kingdom, King George III, was proclaiming end of war, cessation of hostilities on the 3rd October. 3rd October. Okay, we're gonna end here with that because we don't have time left. In the next part, we will continue how it goes on. There was no history. If you were here for history, you can go directly to the next part of history. We will do now the wrist training. If you participate in wrist training, then it's at your own risk. Good and sense, and we're doing the spotlight fist next to us. I will bring your fists up. And again now. And next exercise, the flashlight, fists, and them to the inside and to the outside. And we're having 3 rules. The first rule is that we are stopping immediately as soon as there's pain. The second rule is that we're going only as fast as we can go with a little bit of effort. Next exercise, flat hands, and them to the inside and outside, the magician. And the third rule is that we're not overdoing it. We just want to strengthen, not to exhaust. Next exercise is what are we now? The flat hands, and we're doing the pancake clipper. We're lifting up and we're closing up. And now the T-Rex in the morning. Flat hands out and bring them down and up. Last time down. And up. Now we take T-Rex and grip. If you don't use the tennis ball, just make a strong fist. If you do it within the tennis ball, then press with moderate force onto the tennis ball. Release and press again. Release and press. Release. Press again. Release and switch. Press again. Release and press. Release and press. Release. That's just not a risk. And now we're into courses. One hand with the fingertips on top of the fingernails of the other hand, press a bit, and out slowly. And press it. And switch. Almost good as this. And the last time. And now we feel this new Syntheos director. Fists and open them, close them, and again open, close. Last time. And now the frog blow, the clap, angst to fever. Arm next to us, hand forward to the fist and bring the fist down in deflection. Press a bit against it. You can use the time as a break. Which works by not doing this exercise. So you can just do a break instead of doing this exercise. We're having quite some exercise here. And put them. Now with the other hand, fist down and press on the outside. And pull. And press on top. And pull down. Now the quadrangular castle architect. Bauch heights for fists out. To the outside and down to the inside, up, down, outside, up. Next exercise is the Pascal bridge. Flat hands and bend them into knuckles. Hold it, open again, again, open, and the last time. And now the frog testing water temperature. You can skip this exercise again, it's a bit extreme. Hands down with flat fingers and up with strong fists. Again down with strong fingers. Flat fingers. Up strong fists. Getting down. And up. Last time down. And up. And now the claw. Flat hands and big claws. Hold it. And up. Again, close, hold it, open, and then close, hold it, open. Next exercise. Arms in, strong fists into flexion, and out, wrists into extension with flat fingers. Again, in, strong fists, flexion, out, extension, flat fingers. In, strong fists, flexion, out, extension, flat fingers. In strong fist flexion, out extension. Also last time, and we end here. And now the ice X flat hand, bend it with knuckles, and press on all 4 fingers. Open again, and then the other hand. And the last exercise. Good and stable stance, hold long arms, strong fists, shoulders back, and now bring the strong fists into flexion. And to the outside, extension flat fingers, and inside strong fists flexion. Outside extension flat fingers, inside strong fists flexion. And again. Another one last time. And bed also wrist training. After we've done a little relaxation exercise, we're going from the top of the lower arm. So it's sitting the fingers next to the brachioradialis muscle on, and then we're going with moderate pressure over the middle part of the lower downwards. And on the other side. And now it was wrist training. I thank you very much, and until next time.